Well, the protest blocking the Ambassador Bridge is now in its fifth day, and it's impacting auto production in Ontario.
For more on this, we're joined by Unifor Auto Director Dino Chiodo. Dino, good to have you with us this afternoon. So those protests has been going on for 5 days at the Ambassador Bridge. We know that about $7 million worth of goods crosses both into and out of Canada on a daily basis, the automotive industry being the biggest industry affected by this. Can you paint us a picture of what exactly is going on with the auto plants and what people are doing these days, or not doing?
Well, I mean, it's difficult to say the least. I mean, just to give you an example, Windsor Assembly Plant right now is basically 1,700 units behind schedule just since this started on Monday. This is a challenge. Workers have been sent home. It's a drastic spin-off effect that affects not only the major auto manufacturing facilities, but also the independent parts suppliers. And just has a devastating effect on our community. It has a devastating effect on the economy as a whole. And this has got to come to an end. It can't continue this way.
Dino, what are you hearing from the members? Because, we have heard of, various, reductions in shift, reduction in hours, that sort of thing, because of the impact of the, you can't do just-in-time work when you don't have the parts to do the assembly. So what are you hearing from your uniform members?
I think people are amazed, frustrated. I think they're disappointed. How can a person or a group of individuals shut down the Ambassador Bridge and it be allowed to happen for basically a week? It just doesn't make sense. This is something that people just wouldn't expect. After a year of difficulties over the course of 2021 through semiconductors and not being able to get them, we finally get to a little bit of level playing field where we have some parts that we can run. And to that avail, we're shut down because individuals want to take it into their own hands and shut down the Ambassador Bridge so they don't have parts. So there is some frustration. There's disappointment. There's a number of our workers that are not being paid. There is no wage subsidy or support for them, just being sent home. And obviously that discrepancy doesn't get into the community. So there's a major spin-off effect that affects the economy of Windsor in its entirety. So again, I'm happy that the Premier made an announcement this morning. Emergency put in place, and this is going to be behind us soon.
And Dino, let's talk about our neighbors south of the border, because we know that Canada exports a lot of auto parts to the U.S. as well. Do you think that this is really hurting Canada's image, probably on a global scale, in terms of our stability to conduct auto business? And this is going to really reinforce America's Buy American plan. What do you think?
Jennifer, you're right on the mark. Let's just think about it. Here we have a situation where we've allowed people to take over one of the main arteries for international trade between Canada and the United States, and our government's been baffled on how to deal with it. The reality is we want investment. We're open for business, and we're going to continue to do the right thing. We have efficiencies. We're in place. We have great work standards. We've got a great relationship with the companies, but this type of thing not be happening, and we shouldn't allow it to happen. So from that perspective, it's frustrating to say the least. I think that we can get back on track. I don't think that we've lost too much, and I think that now we'll be better equipped to deal with this in the future. But at the same time, we're going to have to do a little bit of legwork to get past this.
We heard, U.S. President Joe Biden, Dino, talking about, encouraging the Trudeau government to use some sort of federal powers to try to clear things up, specifically in the Ambassador Bridge example. I heard you sort of, allude to Premier Doug Ford's announcement today about, finally, unrolling these emergency measures. Do you think that levels of government, though, have just let this linger too long, that the reaction should have been much quicker and swifter?
Well, I think there's a component that's tied to it of whose responsibility it actually is. From that perspective, I'm not sure if Trudeau was supposed to come in to do anything with regards to emergency measures, because it only affected one bridge. And is it more of a governmental perspective from an Ontario responsibility? Is it them sending in the police? Is it sending in the military? I think a lot of conversations have gone on, but because this has never been an issue in the past, nobody's really known how to deal with it. That's just my thoughts. But at the same time, I'm looking forward to getting this behind us, because it just can't continue on. We need to maintain that trade and that relationship with the United States for sure.
Yeah, it certainly seems unprecedented. Okay, that's all the time we have. Dino Chiodo, Unifor Auto Director, really appreciate your time this afternoon. Good luck.
Cheers.